My mom is in that.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
This is the political debate teams.
That works for me. And you got your 10 seconds on your timer, right? You have your 10 seconds on the timer? Okay, good. Let me get my timer going so I know, so I keep track of time. Otherwise, we'll just keep going and going and going. We'll be here till midnight. No? Don't do that? You got early class tomorrow, I bet, right? Yeah. Okay. Any questions before we get going, guys? Anybody, who's new? Anybody new? Never been here before, I think? We're all in good shape. Yeah. Perfect. Sounds good. Well, I think, Bill, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready. You're smiling?
I'm ready.
We're already recording. We're on YouTube. We're good to go. All right, let's begin after our 2-week break. We'll get back into it.
3 week.
It was 3 weeks, wasn't it? Holy cow. So, and it's the sixth one. It's the 2016. No, 16. Yeah, 2016. I got to get used to writing 16 now instead of 15. Okay, this is Academic Challenge, 6 p.m. show between Countryside and Lakeshore, January 5th, 2016, and we will begin in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Academic Challenge. Happy New Year. I'm Ray Gustafson, your host and moderator. Today we're featuring teams from Countryside and Lakeshore. WSJM's Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from around Southwest Michigan. Academic Challenge sponsored by Berrien Springs Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Lakeshore Public Schools, and the Cook Nuclear Plant. Let's meet the teams. We'll head over to Countryside first. Introduce yourself and tell me something interesting about yourself.
My name's Caleb Feener. I love computers and art and science.
What grade you in, Caleb?
12th.
12th grade. Welcome.
My name is Joshua Davis. I build models after school.
Models of what?
Tanks and World War II aircraft.
Good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Remember to get nice and close to that microphone. Welcome, Asher.
Welcome. I'm Asher Feener. Sorry. I'm a sophomore, and I love Legos and just about everything else a geek would like. So,
Excellent.
except for writing.
I'm Amira, I'm a freshman, and I'm a cheerleader.
Whoa.
Fantastic. All right, let's move over
No
to the
game
Lakeshore.
tonight?
Oops, hang on.
There is one tonight, so after this, I'm going back to school to cheer.
Well, we'll try to not keep you too late. Move over to the Lakeshore side. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Austin Seuss. I'm a senior. I write with fountain pens and do calligraphy.
Ooh.
And you said last time that you were going to bring some in to show us, and we can hold it up to the camera up on YouTube, so we'll do that at halftime. How's that? Sounds good. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Zane. I'm a senior, and I can play 3 different instruments.
What can you play?
I can play the French horn, the trumpet, and the mellophone.
And you're going to bring one of those in and play for us one night, right? Next time?
Sure.
I'll join you with
That'd be great.
I'll join you with Veggie
Yeah.
Toast on the tuba.
That'd be fun. All right.
Hello, my name is Max Solgan. I'm a freshman, and I love history, but I also despise math.
I like this guy.
Bill brought lots of math questions tonight. No, just kidding. Just kidding. And last but not least,
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm a freshman. I guess not really interesting, but I like cats.
you like cats?
Cats?
Do you have any cats?
Mm-hmm.
How many cats do you have?
2.
And their names?
Lucky and Stan.
Welcome to the Academic Challenge. Well, here are some basic rules. Like we always go through during the first and second halves, we'll announce the point value of each question before it's asked. When you press your button, make sure you wait for me to recognize you so people listening know who you are. There's no consultation allowed except during the 60-second round at halftime. Again, I'm Ray Gustafson, your scorekeeper and judge today. Bill Klein will be asking questions. Bill, you ready to go?
I am ready.
Yeah, after our 3-week break. Teams, you ready to go? I need some enthusiasm. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, let's begin the Academic Challenge. Bill?
We start off with a multiple choice question for 5 points. Why does the desert lizard vibrate when in trouble? To calm its nerves, sink beneath the sand, or terrify its enemies?
We have Caleb from Countryside.
To sink beneath the sand.
That is correct for 5 points. For 20 points, Edith Wharton borrowed the title of what painting by Sir Joshua Reynolds for one of her novels?
I need some cricket sound effects for this. That was a pretty weak bell. Give that bell another good. There we go. There's our time's up.
Sounds like our Dracula. It's the age of innocence. Here we go, Max. A math question.
Get your pencils ready.
For 10 points. Take the interval in years between Olympic Games. Subtract it from the interval in years between World Cup soccer finals and multiply this difference by the number of years Doug Rader played Major League Baseball.
I might have to have you repeat. Well, we've got, okay. Zane, you want to try it?
0.
That is a correct answer.
For 10 points.
For 10 points.
Nice job. I was
job.
going to have him repeat it, but holy cow.
Didn't make any difference because when you got to the 0, it didn't make any difference.
Didn't make any difference. Okay.
For 5 points, what's the medical term for cancer of the blood?
Austin from Lakeshore.
Leukemia.
That is correct for 5 points. For 20 points, Mendelssohn wrote the Spring Song. Beethoven composed the Spring Sonata. Who wrote the Spring Symphony?
Zane from Lakeshore.
Mozart.
Incorrect.
Countryside, anybody? 5 seconds. Caleb from Countryside.
Strauss.
Both good guesses. Robert Schumann. Another math question for 20 points. Differentiate f paren x closed paren equals paren 3x minus 2 closed paren to the 4th power.
And we have to say it one more time.
Differentiate f paren x paren equals paren 3x minus 2 paren to the 4th power.
That's not it.
It was as far as I was concerned.
Oh, right on the buzzer. Zane from Lakeshore.
All right. I
Need an answer.
All right. I have 4 parentheses 3x minus 2 closed parentheses to the 3rd multiplied by 3.
Incorrect.
Countryside, since you got in right on the buzzer, I'll give you 5 seconds if anybody wants to try that one. Caleb, Countryside.
27x plus 16.
Incorrect. It's 12 3x minus 2 cubed.
That's what I had.
Oh, that's the same answer I gave.
It is?
Yeah.
Say your answer once more. Would you have written down?
All right. 4 open parentheses 3x minus 2 close parentheses to the 3rd multiplied by 3.
You got multiplied by -2, right?
Yeah.
-2.
Yeah, but it's cubed, and I think he's got it.
He does.
Yeah,
Yep,
he's got
that
it.
would be
The only
correct.
thing he didn't do is simplify the 4 into 3.
Yeah.
Yep, but he's
Yeah,
got it. He's
he's
got
got
it.
it.
20 points.
Good.
Good
call.
catch. Good catch. So
Good catch.
Lakeshore picks up 20 points on that one. Nice job, guys. Thank you.
For 10 points, from the Greek, the word means literally fire arts. The word means literally fire arts. We often apply it to displays that light up the sky on the 4th of July. What's the word?
Zane, Lakeshore.
Pyrotechnics.
That's correct for 10 points. A multiple choice question for 10 points. It's the art of training and trimming bushes and trees into fanciful shapes. Is it called horticulture, topiary, bonsai, or agronomy?
Austin, Lakeshore.
Topiary.
That is correct for 10 points. For 10 points, how many axles does an 18-wheeler transport truck have?
Max, Lakeshore.
36.
Incorrect.
Countryside, 5 seconds. Caleb, Lakeshore, Countryside.
18.
5. For 15 points, according to many scientists, what terrestrial cataclysm never ended, but is merely in a comparatively brief period of remission?
Zane, Lakeshore.
The Big Bang.
Incorrect.
Countryside, anybody? Caleb, Countryside.
Formation of the moon.
Incorrect. It should be just like it is outside, the Ice Age.
Yes, it is.
For 20 points, Who introduced Christianity into Japan during 1549 to 1552?
Well, you said something interesting in our production meeting, because I said Michigan State's in crises, and that you made the point they won the Big Ten, and how could a team be in crisis? You know, nowadays I
St.
think
Francis Xavier.
for a lot of programs, but think
For 10 points, which Greek philosopher is credited with these lines? Quote, "There is only one good, knowledge, and only one evil, ignorance."
they're okay, right?
End
Even if
quote.
they're winning ugly, like Michigan State did some. Nick Saban made an interesting comment. He said,
Zane, Lakeshore.
Socrates.
That's correct for 10 points. For 5 points, the Chinese theater isn't just in Hollywood. A chamber also called the Chinese Theater is in what large cave in New Mexico?
Michigan State. He said, we just couldn't run the ball. You know, they couldn't run the ball most of the year, right? They rushed for 29 yards against Alabama. They passed for 210, under 50%.
Carlsberg Caverns. A multiple choice question for 10 points. Which of the following is the best example of a laissez-faire economy? The United States in 1880, the U.S. today, China today, or France today?
A big game that they go into crises mode. And so Mark D'Antonio,
Caleb, Countryside.
France today.
Incorrect.
Let's see. We have Austin from Lakeshore.
The U.S. in 1880.
That is correct for 10 points. For 15 points, what did a sharp young man named Joseph Glidden invent in 1873?
but I could argue, would Jeremy Langford have made that big a difference in that championship game? No, agreed. Okay, so
That was not a one-player difference.
right. So that's why it's crises. It's only crises until you solve the problem. Or you
Caleb, Countryside.
Swiss Army knife.
Away from the other team, and that's
Incorrect.
the Wolverines.
Lakeshore, anybody?
Florida, unless they ran the ball.
They're all shaking their heads no.
I didn't think they were going to be able to run the ball. Okay, so I thought they were going to have
Good.
trouble.
Right?
Davion Smith
The
had
barbed wire.
the tailback
Sharp young man.
I knew a woman named Barb.
Yeah, I
Barbed
do.
wire.
Married to one. For 20 points, just like the wire, too. For 20 points, in 1502, Christopher Columbus brought a gift to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Name this gift grown in America.
position and
In the Americas.
in this recruiting class they may be able to
Caleb, Countryside.
Sugarcane.
find their quarterback
Incorrect.
of the future, but the offensive line takes a little bit longer.
Austin, Lakeshore.
Coffee beans.
If Michigan wants to win all of their games,
Incorrect. Cocoa beans. Cocoa beans and coffee. They all had hot chocolate.
About a minute left.
For 20 points, identify the mistress of Louis XIV, who had a necklace and, subsequently, a clipped microphone named after her.
evaluate these teams against teams that they have better personnel. We knew Jim Harbaugh was going to win the games when they had better players. We knew that was the first thing he was going to bring.
Zane, Lakeshore.
Queen Antoinette.
Played out the way we
Incorrect.
He won all the games that they had better players than.
But I guess my point was the second half of the season they had better players than a handful of their teams, but they weren't.
The Duchess de Lavalier. Lavalier, named after her. For 5 points, on May 20th, 1899, a New York City cab driver became the first person arrested for breaking what law?
Karen from Lakeshore.
Speeding.
That is correct. We'll give you another 5 points if you can tell me how fast he was going. Well, you get 5 points. He was doing 12 miles an hour.
All right. Well, that ends the first half of today's academic challenge. We'll be back with the score and the 60-second round after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's great Southwest.
This as a preview to 2016, then maybe the bowl preparation wasn't what it was supposed to be. I suggest to you these numbers support the fact that we're going to see a transition in this Nebraska offense, and it's going to look more like it did against UCLA than it did all those times where Tommy was throwing picks, where the ball was being fumbled, where they had to have this balance. And I think maybe the UCLA game is what we're going to see in the future.
You mentioned Tommy. His time in Lincoln is just about up, and we're going to touch in a couple segments on our recruiting segment on who might be the guy to replace him in Lincoln. One more bowl reflection, however, Penn State. What's the big takeaway from that game where they were losing pretty badly and then eventually made it close against Georgia, but still lost.
My biggest takeaway is Denard Robinson and Michigan. When Brady Hook took over and he put in the spread offense because of Denard Robinson, they wouldn't have been able to go to the Sugar Bowl if they hadn't done that. But he slowed down their progress because they wanted to be a West Coast pro attack. And I see the same issue with Christian Hackenberg. I'm not sure James Franklin wants to be a pro.
All right, ready for the 60-second round, teams? Let's do this. All right, we'll begin the 60-second round in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Academic Challenge on WSJM. At the end of the first half, the score is Countryside has 5 points, Lakeshore has 80. Now on to the 60-second round. Teams, you have 3 categories to choose from. We'll give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can. Each one of those questions is worth 10 points. There's a 20-point bonus if you answer all 10 questions within that 60 seconds. You are encouraged to consult with one another out loud. Go ahead and talk as a team. But the answers need to come from the team captains. That's where I need the answer. After that minute is up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer any questions the first team could not answer. So Countryside, you're trailing at the moment. So you have first choice of these categories, which are state capitals, finish the sentence, and 20th century. Caleb, you're the team captain, so what is your choice, please?
We chose finish the sentence.
Finish the sentence it is. So we will put 60 seconds on the timer, and then the 60 seconds will begin as soon as Bill is finished reading. Is there a setup for this one?
No, there's no setup.
Yep, as soon as he finishes reading that first question, then we'll start that 60 seconds.
Statements made by a suspect in which help prove that he is himself guilty of some crime is called self?
Incrimination?
Correct. From the Greek for a double assumption, you may find yourself on the horns of a...
Pass.
Saint Cyril, an apostle to the Slavs in the 9th century, is credited with inventing the Russian...
Pass.
Coach Mouse Davis invented the offense known as run and...
Talk it out, teams.
Pass.
Accessories of the World War II Spitfire pilot included a leather helmet and a white silk...
Scarf.
Correct. When the corpse of a royal person is displayed to the general public, it is said to lie in...
Linen.
Incorrect.
That was it? All right, so would we get 2?
2.
2 correct, so that's 20 points. So that means, Lakeshore, there are 8 unanswered questions that you can steal some points from. So, Austin, as the team captain, are you and your team ready to go?
Yes.
Ready? All right, we'll put 60 seconds back on that timer. And we'll give you 60 seconds to answer the remaining 8 questions then if you can do it. So make sure you guys talk it out. That 60 seconds will begin as soon as Bill is finished reading that first question.
From the Greek for a double assumption, you may find yourself on the horns of a... Incorrect. Dilemma. Saint Cyril, an apostle to the Slavs in the 9th century, is credited with inventing the Russian...
Pass.
Coach Mouse Davis invented the offense known as run and...
Gone.
Incorrect. Shoot. When the corpse of a royal person is displayed to the general public, it is said to lie in...
Rest.
Incorrect. State. The expressions x over y and y over x are reciprocals of each other if neither x nor y equal...
0.
0.
Correct. The right to present requests to the government without reprisal is freedom to...
Freedom of speech.
Incorrect. Petition. The final part of The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens recounts the death of little...
Timmy?
Go ahead and try it.
Just say
Timmy?
Nell.
All right.
Take a shot at it.
One?
Yeah, one. Woo.
So you picked up Lakeshore. You picked up one correct, so you got 10 points on that one. So now we'll turn tables. Lakeshore.
You want to know the answers to the other ones you missed?
I think there was only one that you didn't.
Yeah,
that you didn't get to.
the Russian is the Russian alphabet,
Russian alphabet. Okay.
Okay.
and the other one was the corpse in displayed in public. It's
State.
Lion State.
Lion State. All right, so Lakeshore, we're going to allow you to choose from the two remaining, which are state capitals and 20th century. What would be your choice on that one?
State capitals, please.
State capitals it is. We will put 60 seconds back on the timer. No setup on that one.
Nope.
So that 60 seconds will begin as soon as he finishes reading that first question.
What state capital comes first alphabetically?
Albuquerque?
New Mexico?
Incorrect.
Did you want the name of the city?
You want the state capital.
State capital.
What's the easternmost U.S. state capital?
Oh,
Make sure you talk it out, team.
I don't know the capital. What's the capital? Province?
Providence?
Incorrect. Which capital city is found west of Dayton and south of South Bend?
Go for it.
Indianapolis?
Correct. What U.S. state capital is named for the discoverer of America?
Oh, Columbus.
Ohio?
Yeah. That's correct. Name the capital of the state that is known as America's Dairyland and the Badger State.
Ooh, Wisconsin. It's the capital of Wisconsin.
St. Paul?
No, it's Minnesota.
Incorrect. In what city is the main campus of the University of Nebraska?
I don't know the capital of Nebraska. The capital of Nebraska? No, pass.
Pass.
Time's up. Two. So we got two correct. All right. So Countryside, they got 2 for 20 points. So Countryside, there's 8 questions sitting out there for you to pick up some extra points on as well. Caleb, your team ready?
Yep.
Okay. We'll put 60 seconds back on that timer. And that 60 seconds will begin as soon as Bill reads that first question.
What state capital comes first alphabetically?
Albany.
That's correct. What's the easternmost U.S. state capital?
Oh, okay.
Take a guess.
Concord.
Incorrect. Augusta. Name the capital of the state that is known as America's Dairyland and the Badger State.
Pass.
That's Madison. In what city is the main campus of the University of Nebraska?
Lincoln.
Correct. Which state capital is north of Pierre and west of Fargo?
Pass.
What's Bismarck?
Okay.
What southern city is thought to have been named for the Western and Atlantic Railroad?
New Orleans.
Atlanta.
And there's our time. All right, I think we got them all. So that gave you 2 for 20 points as well. Well, I need to tabulate some scores, so that ends our 60-second round. We will check the scores and conclude the game next here on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Oh.
To come out with a full court pressure, that's a gamble because Purdue has a reputation for being a good passing team. Obviously, with their big guys, if they can get into their half-court offense, get the ball inside, Purdue's really tough. But what full court pressure does, it opens up the court. It creates shots that Purdue might not be used to taking, and Matt Painter might not want those guys to shoot those shots. And in addition to stealing the ball or up, picking the tempo of the game up, it creates problems when you want to run a half-court offense. And I think that's what happened in the second half.
One of the constants in college basketball is change. Every year you're bringing in new players and have to integrate them into your system. Let's talk about Maryland now, sitting 13-1, and they had an awful lot of important players that they brought in and had to integrate, whether it's Carter or Suleiman or Stone. How do you feel they've brought in their new pieces thus far?
Well, they're really good players individually, those three guys. And nowadays, you bring in a freshman like a Diamond Stone, you bring in a senior that graduates like Suleiman did from Duke and still has a year to play. So there's ways to bring in new players, and Maryland has stayed tough. They've done a great job of implementing the new players. And when you have a point guard like Mellon Trimble, you know, that's his job is to make sure everybody...
And we're still recording okay? We're in good shape? All right, so we'll pick up with the second half of the Academic Challenge in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Academic Challenge on WSJM. The score at the end of the 62nd round, Countryside 45, Lakeshore 110. It's now time to find out what's happening at each of our participating schools. First from Countryside, Caleb, tell us all the great things going on.
All right. Hello from Countryside Academy. Thanks for hitting up tonight as Countryside's boys varsity basketball team is hosting a game against Lawrence and is also going to host a game Thursday against LMC. Our current record so far is 2-1. We would also like to thank everyone who participated in our community dinner, which served free meals to over 300 people. The Countryside Art Club won the People's Choice Award for the picture they painted at the Mason Jar Cafe. Congratulations to them, and thank you for hosting this challenge as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. We'll move over to Lakeshore. And Austin, I know there's great things going on at Lakeshore. Tell us about it.
Hello, this is Austin with greetings from Lakeshore. Both our basketball teams are currently undefeated, with the girls at an impressive 6-0 and the boys at an impressive 5-0. Wrestling season is starting up once again, headed by Bruce Bittenbender, one of the winningest coaches in Michigan history, and rehearsals are underway for our January musical Bye Bye Birdie. Performances are the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. More information will be on the Lakeshore School website. Anybody here in the performance? So, Zane, when you raise your hand, people can't see you.
Oh.
So,
this is on the radio. They can on YouTube.
Yeah,
Max, you're in there.
I'm in a pit orchestra for it.
Cool.
Very cool.
What are you doing, Zane?
Just part of the chorus.
That's not true. You're Johnson.
No, I can't. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Well,
chorus
everybody-
is most of the fun anyway.
Well, we'll have to check that out. Absolutely. Well, teams, are you ready for the second half of the Academic Challenge? So make sure we're nice and close to those microphones so everybody can hear you well. We'll put our 10 seconds back on for each question on that timer. Bill, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's begin the second half of the Academic Challenge. Get you ready on those buzzers.
For 10 points, what were both President Ford and President Reagan leaving when assassination attempts were made upon them?
Caleb, Countryside.
Their inauguration ceremonies.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore. Austin, Lakeshore.
Theaters.
Incorrect. Hotels. For 20 points, based on mythical characters, the famous painting of Pallas and the Centaur is the work of what Italian Renaissance artist?
Zane, Lakeshore.
Da Vinci.
Incorrect.
Remember, Caleb, Countryside.
Raphael.
Both good guesses. Botticelli.
And a reminder, you don't lose points for taking a guess on things.
For 10 points, what is the name for a list of computer functions appearing on a video display terminal which indicates the possible operations that a computer can perform next, only one of which can be selected by the operator?
Austin, Lakeshore.
A menu.
That is correct for 10 points.
That's what else.
For 10 points, this lustrous volcanic glass is usually black or banded. And
Zane, Lakeshore.
Obsidian.
that is correct for 10 points. For 15 points, what world leader had a national capital city renamed in his honor?
Josh, Countryside.
Stalin.
Incorrect. Ho Chi Minh from Saigon. A math question
Get your
for
pencils
10
ready.
points. What is the complement of an angle that measures 24 degrees, 13 minutes, 49 seconds?
You'll have to say that one more time, Bill.
What is the complement of an angle that measures 24 degrees, 13 minutes, 49 seconds?
Caleb, Countryside.
156 degrees.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore, 5 seconds. Austin, Lakeshore.
66 degrees, 86 minutes and 51 seconds.
Incorrect. It's 65 degrees,
11
46
seconds.
minutes, 11
11
seconds. For 15 points, the phrase, quote, Rachel weeping for her children, end quote, in Matthew refers to what New Testament event?
Max thinks he knows it. Time's up. Hang on just a second. Max, what do you think it was before you take your, just even though the bell's up?
It was in there. I couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it? Okay. You're going to groan. Go ahead.
Herod's Massacre of the Innocents.
Were you thinking that?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it. He was sitting there fidgeting.
For 10 points, he said in his speech to the assembled cadets at the U.S. Military Academy, quote, but in the evening of my memory, I always come back to West Point. Always there, echoes and re-echoes. Duty, honor, country. Who was he?
Man, you said that with feeling.
I like this guy.
Austin, Lakeshore.
Eisenhower?
Incorrect.
Only one from per team, Max. So, and he already guessed on your team. So, Countryside, anybody? Hang on just a second. Max, who'd you think it was again?
Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, no, that would have been another good one, though.
Yeah.
But it was General Douglas MacArthur.
Oh, MacArthur.
Yeah.
That one. All right.
Yeah, that was a great speech. For 15 points, another good speaker, Patrick Henry said, give me liberty or give me death. What is the rhetorical name for this figure of speech?
Zane on Lakeshore is beating his head right now. If you can hear the sound effects. His English teacher sitting right behind him. Austin from Lakeshore, right on the bell.
Automatum?
Incorrect.
Countryside, I'll give you 5 seconds. It's got in right on the bell. Anybody want to try? No, hit that thing. There we go. Come on. We got to get that bell fixed.
Well, you go down to the B level, it's antithesis.
Oh! Zane was not happy on that one.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, boy. Class is going to be tough tomorrow.
I'm sorry. I knew
If you could see the teacher's face right now.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right, next
All
question.
right. For 15 points, finish this quotation by Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart. Quote, I cannot define pornography. Finish the quote.
Caleb, Countryside.
I can only watch it.
I knew somebody was going to say that. I'm sitting here going, don't say it. Don't say it.
Give him 5 points for it.
Right.
God, I hope not, but that was incorrect.
Hang on, let me give Lakeshore a chance. Anybody on Lakeshore want to come up with a funny? No, I'm kidding. Want to try something? Or anybody? There's our bell.
Thank you.
We need to move on.
But I know it when I see it.
All right.
Yep, good old Potter. For 10 points, the Mayflower sailed from England to Plymouth Rock, a distance of about 2,800 miles, in 63 days. To the nearest mile per hour, what was the ship's average speed? That was a math question, wasn't it?
Say it. Then it's a math question. Say it one more time.
The Mayflower, for 10 points, the Mayflower sailed from England to Plymouth Rock, a distance of about 2,800 miles, in 63 days. To the nearest mile per hour, what was the ship's average speed?
All right, Max from Lakeshore.
About 2 miles an hour.
That is correct, and you said you didn't like math for 10 points.
I didn't even do math.
For 5 points, Newton discovered he could break up white light into colors of the rainbow by using what simple device?
Austin, Lakeshore.
Prism.
That is correct for 5 points. For 20 points, the Presbyterian Church had its beginning in the Reformed Church of John Calvin. In what denomination did the Methodist movement originate?
Karen, Lakeshore.
Catholic.
Incorrect.
Not Catholic. Countryside, anybody? Right on the bell. Caleb, Countryside.
Lutheran?
Incorrect. Anglican, the Church of England.
And that's pronounced Lutheran.
Lutheran.
Yeah.
For 15 points.
I'm going to get calls
Oh,
now.
here we go.
How many points?
For 15 points, what occurred in Ujiji, Tanzania? Ujiji, Tanzania, in November 1871. What occurred?
Asher from Countryside.
An earthquake?
Incorrect.
Lakeshore, anybody?
Dr. Livingston, I presume. Stanley met Livingston.
About a minute left.
Okay, you want to get your pencils out on this one. Arrange these.
How many points? I'm sorry, Bill.
Oh, 15 points.
15 points.
I'm sorry.
No
15 points. Arrange these 4 substances: amino acids, RNA, DNA, protein, in the correct sequence of protein production.
Say them one more time because they're trying to write them all down here.
Amino acids, RNA, DNA, protein.
Karen, Lakeshore.
Amino acids, protein, RNA, DNA.
Incorrect.
Countryside. Caleb, Countryside.
Protein, DNA, RNA, amino acids.
Incorrect. DNA, RNA, amino acids, and protein.
We got time for one more.
Multiple choice question for 5 points. Does cogent mean the same as ordinary, familiar, universal, or convincing?
Caleb, Countryside.
Universal.
Incorrect.
Lakeshore. Zane, Lakeshore.
Convincing?
That is correct.
For 5 points. Well, you know what that means. That does it. That's the end of today's academic challenge match. We'll tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Consider, if for just a moment, the following. The wrong words will murder your marketing. Stale phrases rake any hope of your ads working. Little leeches are sucking the life from your advertising. Sentences that are guaranteed to render your commercial useless. Oh, they're out there. Do you know what the danger phrases are?
Okay.
Gut instinct.
Good luck on cheering.
Let me do the wrap up real quick, guys. Can I get it quiet for just a second?
okay.
Yep, quiet down. All right, let's do the wrap up here real quick. In 3, 2, 1. We're back on WSJM's Academic Challenge to announce today's winner and thank our sponsors. The winners by a score 150-45. The team from Lakeshore. Congratulations!
Hey, great job.
Congratulations to both teams.
There will be a quiz in the English class tomorrow.
Exactly. WSJM's Academic Challenge brought to you by Lakeshore Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Berrien Springs Public Schools, and the Cook Nuclear Plant. Join us again next week at this time as South Haven and Coloma go head-to-head on Academic Challenge.
Pete Rose, his career, nobody's going to have a problem with that.